Stephen, how are you? It's Friday.
It's Friday and I'm frazzled. I'm really looking forward to this weekend. Tonight is in Devizes is a lantern parade,
Yeah.
which is a tradition. All the schools and the pupils in the schools make Chinese lanterns,
Oh,
and
wow.
there's then a procession that goes through the town starting at 6:30, and seems to be more and more. There's all sorts of the children make simple lanterns, but some of the professional lantern makers, they're just got to be seen to believe. There's a horse. I'm
Oh, yeah.
kidding you not. There's a horse, and there's 4 people carry it through town. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyway,
Oh, my goodness.
let's. Oh right, okay. I just lost Bridgetti, so I'm going to carry on. And how far did Bridgetti go? Okay, let's see what we can do. This is the joys of live broadcasting. I'm back, and I'm going to wait for Bridgetti to come back. But whilst I do that, I'll tell you about what we're up to today. This, first of all, welcome to the show. This is 5 Days Live, and this is day 5 of 5 Days Live. And this is the day when things go wrong. Today's show is about show presentation and green screens with Bridgetti, Tina, and Stephen. And at the moment, we've only got Stephen. All of which makes it a little difficult to actually do a coordinated show. So we did promise that what we'd actually do, good. What we'd actually do, as Bridgetti comes back, if I go off solo, I should be able to see Bridgetti on screen. Hello again.
Hello. I just got kicked out. I'm feeling.
Right. It wasn't me. This is one of our famous Fridays when everything that can go wrong goes wrong.
I'm like, Stephen didn't want me in the show today. Just kick me off.
Right. Okay. Now, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try and do some magic, and we're trying to bring Tina on screen. I'm just trying to remove an advert, a Black Friday advert I've got, and nope, I've lost Tina. All right. Everything that can go wrong is going wrong. Okay, and there's just no sign of Tina. Right. Okay. Now, as you can see, it's self-evident that Bridgetti is using a green screen. Bridgetti, would you like to explain more about your green screen and whose it
Yes,
is?
and I do just want to say that I am looking, one of the things you can see in the studio is your signal strength. And I think the reason I disappeared a moment ago is because my signal strength just went down. I mean, like right
Right.
now, I'm on the tiniest little teeny
Oh,
edge
right.
of a
Okay.
signal.
Right. Well, it's time to explain then that I'm in Wiltshire, England, and you are in Cape Town, in South Africa. And this fact we're actually talking together is amazing. So, but occasionally, as you say, I mean, internet signals will drop, and you can't do anything about that. This is not TV after all. This is live internet. And anyway, I'm butting in there. If you carry on and talk about Ecamm.
One of those things, yes. So I love using Ecamm for many reasons. And we say hello to Kelly, and Kelly says, Happy Friday, happy Friday. I totally
Thank you, Kelly.
agree with that. It's Friday. Yay, it's the end of the week. It's been a great week. It's been a phenomenal week. Every single day we've gone live on 5 days live. And we've been able to share some phenomenal learnings. It's the one thing about the live streaming community that is absolutely awesome is the fact that none of us hold on to any particular secrets about live streaming. We're quite happy to share what we do and how we do it. And that's what 5 Days Live is all about. And so every single day we've gone through different things, and we're still hoping that Tina can join us because we've planned this, and so we're hoping that somehow Tina can still jump on. So we're talking about show presentation and green screens today. And Stephen and I both use green screens, But the great thing about it is that Steven's on Windows and I am on a MacBook. And so we both have different experiences about how we use green screens.
Oh yeah.
And so we can share that with you. So Steven's Windows, I'm on Mac, and for me to be able to use a green screen, I use a software called Ecamm. Now, this used to be a fairly straightforward process before. And it's not that it's difficult or impossible to do, it just takes a little bit more tweaking. Um, Before, I used to use Google Chrome and it worked an absolute treat. I never had a single day of issues. So the process on a Mac is that you needed to open up Ecamm first, open up your camera, open up Ecamm, and then you follow that by opening up Google Chrome. And once you're in Chrome, you can open up BeLive, and as they say, Bob's your uncle. You live, and your green screen is simply working. However, about two or three upgrades of Chrome ago, there was a shift in Chrome, and there seems to be this ongoing issue between Chrome and Apple, and the one's not willing to give in to the other. So they kind of, I don't want to do this and you don't want to do that. And somehow they're just leaving the users hanging, dangling in the
It's,
middle.
it's just so annoying, isn't it?
Very annoying, very annoying. No one's, willing to come to the party. The one's complaining about the other, and there's just no solution in sight. So for the moment, if you're wanting to use a green screen with Chrome, the workaround is that you need to go and install an older version of Chrome. For the moment, I'm using I don't know, is it 0.74 or 7.4?
Oh, yeah.
I think
So
it's
yeah.
7.4, version 7.4. So version 7.4 is the last version of Google Chrome that still allowed you to use a virtual camera. And that is what it is. You need a virtual camera to be able to use a green screen. And I'm going to sell it to Dom as well. So you need a virtual camera. And the virtual camera I use is Ecamm. It no longer works with Chrome unless you install a previous version of Chrome. Now, here's the caveat to that. It works brilliantly if you install Google Chrome 74. But here's another annoying thing about Chrome is that even if you have disabled your Chrome updates, it is going to force the update, whether you like it or not. You can do what you like, you can try what you like, but Chrome is going to force the upgrade on you, even if you've turned off your upgrades, which means that every single time that you restart Chrome or you restart your computer, you're going to have to go back and reinstall version 74 because that's the last version of Chrome that works. It's a little bit annoying that you've got to redo this program, redo this every single time, but it's a workaround and it does work. So I've tried all the other browsers, and the one browser that does work all the time for me without any issues whatsoever is Opera. Opera is the only browser that works without any glitches if you're wanting to use a virtual camera on your MacBook. So again, the same as with Chrome, you have to start your browser. You have to start your software first, Ecamm, your virtual camera, whatever else your virtual camera is. Start that first, then your browser, and then you go to BeLive and Bob's your uncle. Now, I do want to point out one thing, and hello, Bob, nice to see you. I do want to point out one thing that I have personally put in a request to BeLive to tweak is on BeLive version 1, you had the opportunity to set your camera first and your sound before you appeared in the studio. So before you even joined, you had the opportunity to set that. With BeLive Studio 2, it doesn't let you do that. So you're already in the studio and only then can you choose your camera. So it's a bit of a mission at the moment because it takes, depending on your internet speed or computer speed, you now have to go and choose your camera because it's not going to choose your virtual. You can't set it, unfortunately. Also, again, in Be Live version 1, I like the fact that you could actually set a default camera and it just stayed there. With Studio 2, it's not allowing you to set a default camera. It will just pick up, it'll pick up whatever camera it thinks is your default camera. So if it's your built-in camera, it'll choose the built-in camera instead of your webcam. So you then have to go and select that. Now, if you're already in studio and your host isn't aware that you may be having a technical difficulty or struggling to connect your camera, you could find yourself in the show before you've had time to select your virtual camera or your webcam. So it is something that you're going to have to, let your producer know and say, don't just put me on the camera, give me time to select my virtual camera first. It just takes some time. And I'm going to say hello to Tina. Tina, I've got no sound. I can't hear you.
Oh,
Stephen, should be okay now. I was hearing background noises, so I had to switch the camera off.
Hello.
Aloha from Cape Town.
Hello from Boca Raton, Florida, everyone. I am on by phone because I've had some issues as usual, but let's not talk about that. Let's keep it positive and stay on topic about green screen and presentation skills. Bridgetti, have you wrapped up your green screen?
Yes, I think I have wrapped up my green screen from a MacBook. Yes.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about presentation skills, and you might notice our beautiful color coordination, and that's as we say on Ladies Go Live, a Tina thing. I am a professional photographer, so I'm very sensitive as to how things look and the overall feel. So I really think when everybody on camera is coordinated, it really looks consistent and a united front, and it's so important. So we chose an orange coral color today for energy, and it's one of the Be Live colors. And I really strongly encourage you to do is avoid black, white, and gray. Try to stick to a solid color so you're not looking at my butterfly background and Bridgetti's back office and Stephen's green screen. So if you keep a solid color on top, you really keep the attention on yourself and on your guests. So that's my first tip, is have a plan with your guest. And everybody laughs and they're like, she's going to ask, what color are we wearing? So you'll thank me because the look is just consistent and crisp. Another presentation skill is I have a white eyeliner pencil that I use on my waterline that really makes your eyes pop and look bigger and brighter. And men can do this too. It doesn't hurt. It's not painful. So that's another really easy presentation skill. Just a white eye pencil on your lower waterline will really make your eyes pop and you look a little bit more youthful and vibrant and healthy. One thing I see a lot of people doing is if they're going echoey, they can go to headset. And I like to avoid having this cross in the front. So what I do is I'd put my headset around back. So it's still connected, but you still feel that connection with me direct. Another thing is, notice I'm looking at the lens, so you feel I'm looking directly at you. I'm not looking at the host talking in a way because you don't feel connected with me if I'm looking away. In the beginning, when I started live streaming on Periscope many years ago and with Facebook Live, I actually put a piece of paper on the screen so I wouldn't be tempted to look at my guests or the other people on screen, that I would keep looking at the lens. And being a photographer, that's so important to have that connection with the lens and with the eye. So those are things that I wanted to offer. As far as presentation skills, when I'm interviewing someone, I was on an interview recently with someone and I was the guest, they were the host, but they talked 3/4 of the time about themselves. So they were wonderful, they were nice, and I'm not going to say who it was. But when you're the host, it's like riding a horse. If you've done that, you are steering the horse. Yes, you want to give the horse some leeway to go down some paths, but if you've promised a topic and your viewers are tuning in, You want to deliver what you promised and keep your word. To me, that's so important. And yes, sometimes you can get sidetracked, typical for me going down a rabbit hole. But you want to deliver what was promised and keep your word because you want that to be part of your reputation. So, because I didn't plan on being on my phone, I'm holding my phone, so that's why I'm a little bit shaky. So, stay on topic and really highlight, as Lottie referred yesterday, my favorite hashtag is serve, share, and shine. How can I serve you? How can we share information? And how can I enable my guest to shine, which will make my audience shine, maybe with new skills, new ideas, a new approach? So that's so important because when I'm a photographer and I'm like, no, you don't want to wear a black turtleneck to the beach. Guess what? If you look good, don't do the pageant arm. If you look good, it makes me look good and it makes you have a higher level of confidence in my abilities. So really work on thinking of how you can make your guests shine. What information can you serve? Sharing information to enable your guests to shine. And that includes your viewers and your replay viewers. One thing I do, it still drives me crazy, and we talk about it a lot on live, is, I'm going to wait a few minutes till a few more people come in. Don't punish the people who came to the party on time and wait for the latecomers, because really 30%, if you're lucky, are live. 70% are going to be in your replay viewers. So in your presentation skills, don't punish the people who showed up on time. I'm going to wait. Don't. Jump right in and get started, assuming you don't have any technical difficulties. So Bridgetti and Stephen, I'm going to turn it back to you, and I will wait to see if you have any questions or anything you want to add to that.
Yes, I do. I am also very particular when it comes to pre-show work with my guests. I do believe it's very important. I want my guests always to have the greatest experience possible because I want them to come back. And as far as I'm concerned, my guests are my business cards. I don't have physical business cards. My guests are my business cards, and I want them to walk away with a great experience. I want them to tell other people about me, and I want them to come back in a few months' time. And so I spend a little time preparing them. I send them instructions of how to join the show. I send them instructions of what could possibly go wrong because it is live and what to do in that case so that they're entirely prepared. I let them know that if I have a bad internet connection and I disappear, do not say, Bridgetti, where have you gone? Bridgetti, I'm on screen. Did you forget about me? No, just carry on, continue talking, and know that as soon as I can, I will be back. So your guest will also feel more comfortable. So if they see you disappearing, they will understand what happened, and the show will go on seamlessly because they will know that you will return as soon as you can. And hello to Corinda, who's joined us as well. Hello to Bob. Hello to Smile Time Weekly. I think Smile Time is Corinda. So basically, if you prepare them, then they know. The other thing that I am also very particular about is how they look in terms of, camera. I try and get the same height, same camera height. I try and get the same size of the head, roughly. You don't want that. You do not want that at all. No, it looks terrible. So you want to get roughly the same height, from the top. You don't want to be looking up at people's noses. You don't want to be looking at the forehead. You want to just have the look very similar so that you have a professional looking production and screen. And what I tell people is, in the pre-setup, I will tell them, I want to know, are you using a webcam? Are you using a mobile phone? Are you using your built-in camera? Because then I know what to do next. I know what to advise them. Now, you holding your phone in your hand now, this was an emergency situation, was completely unplanned. You didn't plan to come on camera on your mobile phone. But what I will say to people is if you are going to come onto my show with your mobile phone and it's pre-planned, I know that in advance, you're going to be using your mobile phone. I want that mobile phone on a stand. It's a non-negotiable with me. If we're having a pre-planned show and I know in advance you're going to use your mobile phone, it's perfectly okay. But you're not going to be on my show holding your phone in your hand and making viewers feel seasick. And you're not going to have something that you want to reproduce, and repurpose. Those are all things of pre-planning. If you're on your laptop, have some books handy or something if you're going to be using your built-in camera, so we can raise your laptop to the correct height. So those are all things that you can do prior to going live. And that's why you want to have a pre-show interview with your guests, because guests, remember, it's very different for guests. We go live all the time. Okay, we remember what it felt like when we first started, how nerve-wracking it was, how conscious we were of the camera. We didn't know where to look. And there's a whole lot of things we have to do when we're producing as well. Now, imagine the guest. This is something completely new for them. And remember, even people, I've interviewed people who were used to TV, traditional media, but they're not used to being live on camera. It's a very different experience. So you want to make sure that by the time they're on camera with you, that they feel comfortable. Give them some time, even if you've done the pre-interview, go live with them 15 minutes at least before the show. So by the time that the show starts, you are relaxed. Your guest is relaxed. You're not feeling flustered. And I find that if you do that, it's almost a flawless transition from just a casual chat right into the show. And your guest is so relaxed and they walk away and they're feeling, wow, is that 30 minutes already gone? And that's exactly what you want. I kind of go, bingo, we just hit the jackpot. It was great. If the guest feels like that 30 minutes was super lightning fast, it means they enjoyed the experience. You don't want somebody going like, you don't want that, because then they're not feeling relaxed. And a lot of that you can avoid, Tina, by pre-show preparation. So much, this part, by the time we're on screen, it should no longer be an issue if you did your prep work correctly.
So I still hear Bridgetti talking, but now I lost sound on her. So I don't know if you can still hear me. So
I
Bridgetti,
can hear you.
Okay, good. Now you just came back. So you led right into a great thing that, yes, stuff happens all the time. I've had a lot of issues with webcam this year, and we'll just leave it at that because let's keep it positive. So I'm actually have my arm holding my phone on a statue right now. So I'm holding as still as possible. So let's talk a little bit about integrating all the presentation skills we just spoke about, how you guys set up for the green screen. And notice I'm not on a green screen. Bridgetti is. And that's so important to background check. I sent Steven a little screenshot this week that maybe he can pull up now about how important your background is. So this is an ad that I've seen on Facebook. And let me tell you, here's a free promotion for them. But I don't know if you can see, but there's these little antlers coming out of his head, and it's hilarious. I believe it's a travel club. So I cracked up. I even wrote, tiny antler syndrome, but look, he's got all these cardboard heads. Thank you for not having real animals, by the way. So free promotion for them. But let me tell you, he's done, I don't know if it's this guy that's responding. In the comments, he has responded with wit, with humor, and just rolled with the punches. He's never been antagonistic toward the comments, just rolled right along with it. So be very careful about your background and how your face is going to look, like with the tiny antler syndrome. So free promotion for them. Thank you. And you know what? Thank you to that company and that group for responding with such class. And that's another thing with presentation skills. Yes, you guys addressed this week that the troll thing has gone down a lot, but to respond with wit and grace and not get into a shouting match or cursing, it's so important for you to maintain your reputation, because once you lost that, There's no going back. People are always going to remember, oh, yeah, it's the woman that went BSC, bat, you know what, crazy, on one of the trolls or whatever. So if you respond with humor and grace and just go with the punches, your community is going to stand up for you. And now there's so many things we can do as moderators and admins on your stream to delete those comments and go back. And I know when ladies go live, Lottie is very diligent about going back and answering those things or deleting, because again, you going live, we've got to be as authentic as we can, because let you know a secret. I don't have a passport, but I feel I know Bridgetti, I know Steven. We could go sit down for coffee or dinner, and they are the same people I feel that they are on screen. This ain't catfish where we're using someone else's picture. This is me. I've got my Yorkie sitting behind me. Sometimes there's technical difficulties. I make crazy faces. I'm very animated. That's me. But you know who you are when you watch them, and there's probably certain people you like to follow because you really feel you do know their personality. I met a lot of people on Periscope. Shout out to Kathy Nolan. We ended up being roommates at Social Boom, and my husband's like, "You're rooming with someone you met on the internet?" Yeah, because we've seen each other live. We've sent each other gifts in the mail. We talk on the phone. She's a real friend. And you can have that kind of connections, the same that we do here on 5 Days Live. The group of us band together. We have a synergy together. We work well together. We can bounce off well together. And you will find and make those connections when you go live, using the updated presentation skills, your tech skills, and rolling with the punches when technology fails. Bridgetti?
That is so true. You know, the ability to be able to roll with the punches is great. And I know, you know, when you first start live streaming, it's an acquired skill. You know, it's not something that you know in the beginning, but it is a skill that you can acquire with time. And one of the things I recommend you do if you are just starting out, watch other people's shows that are already successful, people that already do it flawlessly. Watch those shows over and over and over until you get it. That's what I did in the beginning. I watched tons and tons and tons of live streams of people I admired and people I wanted to emulate. You know, because not you don't vibe with everyone, but you'll find that one or two or three people that you feel is really doing a great job, that has a great on-screen presence. Watch their videos, you know, watch it over and over and over, and you'll pick up those skills. And you don't want to do things exactly the way someone else does it. You want to bring yourself to and your own personality to the screen. So use the techniques that they have, but bring yourself to the screen. Don't try and be Tina. Don't try and be Bridgetti. Don't try and be Steven. Be you. Be yourself. Learn the techniques, but bring your personality to the screen, because that's why people want to watch your shows. You know, you may be doing like Lottie does on camera confidence, for example. We all know Lottie does on camera confidence, and so many people does on camera confidence as well. But someone likes the way Lottie does it. So you want to watch her shows, see how she does it, and see how you can add your own personal flavor to doing that. Now, Stephen, you haven't spoken about the green screens on Windows yet. Would you like to explain how people do that on Windows? I'm not sure if Stephen's hearing us.
I think
Perhaps
he's doing
not.
a Lottie. He might have been on mute.
I think so. So
all right, I'm back.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
No,
Stephen, I was just wondering whether you'd like to explain to people how to use green screen on Windows.
Certainly. Now, in order to do that, I first of all need to do a screen, and I'm going to screen an application, and I'm going to bring that up on screen. This may or may not work. We'll soon find out. Okay, now to do this little trick, I need to turn off Tina's camera. I need to turn off Bridgetti's camera. And now you can just see me, and next to me
Yay.
is, thank you, I can still hear you, and everybody else can, is is the application that I use to actually have the reason for the green screen behind me is simple and straightforward. If I go to the application, I can just switch my background straight away, and you can actually see that I can be anywhere in the world, and I can show some of my favorite photographs off. And I'm very grateful to Kelly as well. Now, this is an application you download. You can either pay. Today's on offer. It's a Black Friday offer, and you can actually buy this half price. So that's 50% off today. So I'll give you the link in a moment. But you download the software. It's got a simple and straightforward menu. You can do the settings. You can change the language. You can go for help. And in help, you can actually calibrate the camera so that it's right for your lighting. Once you've done that, then you're good to go. And as Bridgetti said earlier, and it seems a while ago, what Expert VCam does is to create a virtual camera, which means that BeLive can see it, and you can come in using that camera and just simply go live, and you can be on any platform in the world, anywhere in the world. And it's as simple as that to actually switch from one to another. And just a tip here, some photographs work, some don't. So make sure that you do calibrate it, otherwise you get around the edge. But it just takes practice. I can go back to me, back to my original green setting, or I can switch to a backdrop straight away. I have no idea where that is, but I can use my own photographs, and I can use photographs that have been taken by other people. So I can actually travel all around the world using a green screen. And that's a good one to sign off on, because that's a photo by my good friend, Kelly.
That's beautiful.
I'm going to stop screen sharing, which will remove that. Comes back to me, and I can bring back Bridgetti and Tina.
Right. That's a beautiful photograph. So again, when you go live with your presentation skills and you look professional, you've got your plan down, you've made your guests look good if you are interviewing, you just don't know where it can lead. I was recently asked to come and speak somewhere because someone's seeing me live, don't know them. I don't know about you, but I got in front of thousands of people this week because of going live. You never know where it can lead you. So think of every time you go live, it can lead to jobs, it can lead to income, it can lead to opportunities, it can lead to friendships, collaborations, joint ventures. It can lead to things you would never imagine. So look prepared, be prepared, have a plan, and roll with the punches when things don't go right, because that shows that your resiliency and your willingness to just like, I'm not going to get all flustered because I'm on my phone and not like I set it up to be. Just roll with the punches and have fun. And again, you'll never know where it can lead you. It can go beyond your wildest dreams.
And I do want to mention, when things go wrong, and they can, because it's live, it's real, it's raw, it's very important that you as a producer and a host have the ability to remain calm no matter what, because your guests are going to sense your mood. They're going to sense if you're stressed out. They're going to sense if you're not in control of the show. And you never want to lose control of your show. It's your show. You're in command. You're producing. So you want to, your guests are going to pick up on your confidence levels. So if you want a great show, even if things go wrong on your side, don't transfer that negative energy onto your guests, because it's going to ruin the entire production, and you don't want that. So yes, things can go wrong, but there are ways to fix them. And the first way to fix it is not to panic. Know that when you're going live, never panic. It can go wrong because it's live, but don't panic. Take a deep breath if you must. And another great tip that I have for you is, may sound silly, but go to the bathroom before you start a live show. Make sure you go to the bathroom. Make sure you have your favorite drink handy, whether it's hot or cold, or it's a glass of water or something, because If you're talking for long periods, your throat is going to get dry. It's part of your pre-show preparation to have something handy to drink. Anything else that you may need for your show, for example, it's hot in Cape Town right now. And, I'm in that part of my life where I have tropical moments.
Mm.
And so I have my fan handy. It's right here on my desk in case I have a tropical moment. I can deal with it.
Love
So,
that.
think of all the things you may possibly need before your show and have it all within reach so that you can feel in control when things go wrong. The other thing you may want to do as part of your show prep is when it comes to your internet connection, have a backup. My backup is always my Wi-Fi on my mobile phone. I ensure that I've got data on my mobile phone because the last thing you want is to have a special guest on a show and your ADSL goes down, your cable goes down, or your fiber goes down, or whatever. You do not want to be canceling on an important guest at the last moment. So I always ensure that I have data on my mobile phone. That is my backup. And it has happened. It has happened. And it's worked flawlessly. But have a plan B for things, especially if it's a guest, an important guest. You want to take every precaution possible to make sure that that interview is going to be successful and the guest is still going to walk away with a great experience and not even realize that you had all these technical issues in the background.
Hopefully so. Tina, over to you
Yes.
before we close the show. Your thoughts on presentation, the best tips you can give.
My best tips, get that white eye pencil for under your eyes so your eyes look bright and you look fresh and youthful. When you do wear a headset, I like to wear that behind so my guest feels direct, so there's nothing blocking my guest and I. Have a plan. Make your guest feel comfortable, as Bridgetti said. Serve, share, and shine. Have a plan. I have a notebook that has all my live ideas, and a lot of times I get ideas during a show, and how Steven's allowing us just to be on screen and making it interesting to watch. Producing the show takes a whole different level of energy. So kudos to you, Steven, for producing again this whole week. Sorry. And have a plan. And you know what? Have fun. Like, as Bridgetti said, don't try to be someone you're not. I'm crazy and I make crazy faces. I honestly don't watch. I try not to watch myself after the show because I'm like, oh my God, I look like a cartoon animal. But that's me. If you're with me, this is what you get. And I think it transfers well. That's overline because I am energetic. I am crazy. I am bouncy and all over the place. So be yourself, and believe it or not, no matter what your message is, someone out there is waiting to hear from you. Someone out there is waiting to hear your story because they're going through something similar, and you might give them a kernel of hope or information or a tip that drops right in their lap that they were waiting for. So don't keep your magnificence all to yourself, and it's a light that shines within each and every one of us. So get out there and shine your light.
Wise words. Before I hand over to Bridgetti to close the show, I'd just like to say a personal thank you to Bridgetti, of course, because this is the second show Bridgetti's been on. To David Burrows in Sarnia, Ontario. We are truly international. On Wednesday, it was Lottie and Marco joining Ireland with Portugal, which was the first, and they got on like a house on fire. First time they broadcast together, first time they'd met. And then Thursday was Lottie and Marco again, but this time joined by Lynda West. And today you have been watching Bridgetti, myself, and Tina. Bridgetti, over to you.
An awesome thank you to everyone watching us live and on the replay. Thank you for joining us from different corners of the earth. And I'm going to go out with the words, do not fail to plan to succeed. Because having a successful show takes planning. So do not fail to plan to have a successful show. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you for joining us live. And we look forward to welcoming you to the next season of 5 Days Live. From me in Cape Town, it's goodbye for now.
And from myself in Wiltshire, it's goodbye. It's over to Tina.
And from sunny and sweltering Boca Raton, Florida, where there are always tropical moments, Bridgetti. Goodbye, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. And hello, replay viewers.
Bye.